On, in, under, above, over, between, by. Yes, I'm spouting out a lot of prepositions. I'm Matt Mankin from American English Consultant Services, and welcome to the first lesson in the Live Language series. So, prepositions are very important because they give us direction. They also provide us location and other things. Most importantly, is adult English language learners sometimes have confusion about ones that have a very similar meaning or context, but yet has some specific differences that are not always paid attention to and causes mistakes when creating sentences. A commonly misplaced pair is usually on or above. And it's usually for the simple fact that on means physical contact, where above means no contact and is directly above something right underneath. But yet people make that mistake and don't study their definitions always appropriately. The two that I'm going to talk about today are above and over. So let's start with above. So the birdhouse is above me. So above means when one thing is not directly over another, but higher. And this is a spatial relationship. So you can see that it is higher than me, but there is some space between me and the birdhouse on this tree. So it's very vital to understand that it's not right here. Now, there is a discrepancy. When you use a different word before above, things get a little more complicated, right? So if I was to step all the way back here, I'm limited by my mic length here, so I apologize. But if I was standing right under that birdhouse, you could say, the birdhouse is directly above me. That means it's in line with my body, and if it fell, it would probably knock me out because it's made of pretty solid wood. So you probably don't want to stand directly under it. And plus, I probably would make the poor bluebirds angry. And I like my birds, so I won't do that. The other example I want to use, since as you were told in the first introductory video, if you watch it, is we're doing this all based on natural surroundings. There is a bird above me in the tree. If you've noticed, there's some spatial distances between me and these trees, and obviously any birds that are in it are definitely going to be higher up than myself. Hence, the spatial relationship. You can also use above to express a degree of something. For instance, this shirt I have on, I could state something like, this shirt cost me above $10. What does that exactly mean? How would you directly translate that? Well, I'm saying that the shirt is not cheaper. Trees are even attacking me, right? That the shirt is not less than $10, but at least $10 and probably more. You can also use it to express temperature. For instance, somebody may ask you, what's the weather going to be like outside today? I'm going to say, well, I believe it's going to be above 50 degrees. So that, once again, that means I know it's going to at least start out at 50. It's not going to go below 50. But then again, I know that it's probably going to be warmer than 50 degrees. So now let's take a look at over. So, for instance, somebody may say to you, hey, how would you like to go to the movies this weekend? Well, you might say to them, you got this test, right, that you got to study for. I'd love to, but I have an English exam I have to study for over the weekend. So when you say over the weekend, that's covering the entire weekend. In other words, there's going to be several hours of work that you're going to be looking forward. Well, I won't say looking forward, depending on your study, how much you love studying, to cover. You're going to be that busy. So you can't, how about a rain check? Rain check meaning let's do it later. Also, to express time, you could, for instance, this is a big yard out here, right? Takes a lot of work. Maybe I want to go somewhere. I want to go to the fair. And a friend of mine wants to go with me. And they say, hey, you're going to go to the fair this weekend? I might say, you know what? I really can't. I got a lot of yard work to do over the weekend. I got to cut the grass. I got to trim the grass. I got to lay down the sod, whatever you got to do. It's going to keep you very busy for several hours, you're saying, over the weekend. You won't have any time at all to do that. Now, there are some idiomatic expressions that we sometimes use for over. For instance, I heard about a great deal at JCPenney over the radio. And so you're basically saying you got this communication from the radio where somebody had told about this ad or advertised this sale. You can say over the phone. So let's say you were on the phone and you were talking to a salesperson and they told you about a great deal, a great sale, or they told you a website to go to. You would say, hey, I was told to go to www.androidphone.com to take a look at the new models of the Android phone or the iPhone, depending on your preference, right? We can also use it to talk about age in different senses. So for instance, you could say, it's my birthday today, and maybe you want to mess around with people a little bit and they say, well, how old are you? Well, I'll give you a hint. I'm not over 40. That means here's a little area to, a blanket area to kind of stop. I'm not over 40. That means we're stopping right there, and then you're going to have to go down. If you go up, I mean, they obviously have not understood you. If they say, for instance, if someone would say to you, or a group of people, when I say they, somebody could say to you, it's your birthday today. I'm going to guess you're above 20 years old. That means I know you're at least 20, but I guarantee you're going to go up a few more years at least from that point. So that way people kind of want to cut down the mystery a little bit, but not quite. They're going to try to take a logical guess based on how you look. So if you liked this lesson today, I have many more prepositions that I'm going to do, but I definitely want this to turn into a type of user-based request type of thing. So for instance, if you have another pair of prepositions that you'd like me to cover and do some outdoor examples with, I'd be happy to do that. Please email me at info@AmericanEnglishConsultantServices.com, and I'll look forward to preparing content specifically designed for my viewers so that you get the most out of your learning and don't waste time with just me picking everything. So thanks for watching today, and study hard. Bye.